From First Coast News, this is Good Morning Jacksonville.
And right now at 6:30, we're closely watching what is going to happen here with Hurricane Maria. It is developing in the Atlantic as it makes its way toward the Caribbean.
Oh boy, the system is near the Leeward Islands this morning and continues to gain strength. We're going to check in with our storm expert meteorologist Mike Prangley in just a minute. But first, we've got to talk about this, the Jags.
Jags. Not a victory Monday
No.
this go around for Jags fans. The team hosted the Tennessee Titans for its home opener Sunday, and yes, it was an L.
Oh boy, sports director Chris Porter has the details of the downfall and how you can weigh in on the game. Can't wait to hear that.
And I'm Alex Osiris on the south side this morning, where it's back to school for kids in 12 counties across the First Coast. We've got the First Coast News drone flying high above Twin Lakes Academy this morning. Check it out as it passes over the top of us and heads on the first day back to school after Hurricane Irma. We'll have all of the latest coming up on your back to school coming up.
All right, Alex, I think you got us all fired up. I think a lot of parents are excited. Kids are heading back to school, but it's going to take time to get back in that routine. But if we're going to do that, the properly, how about nature cooperating? 69. It feels great as you head out the door for Jacksonville. 66 on the west side. Waycross, we've come a long way, haven't we? Middle 60s this morning. In fact, we showed you that modern technology shot. The drone technology doesn't get any better. Twin Lakes Academy, our school of the day. Great weather, getting back to school. Kids can ride the bikes, get out the shorts, a high of 90 with a fresh northeast breeze. Our precision cast not finding much rain. In fact, maybe a brief shower on the west side. It's more like a sprinkle. So rain chance of 10% from the west side, downtown, Mandarin for the Mustangs. Not looking for rain, but we are watching rip currents along the beaches today. Once again, high tides running about a foot above average, but low rain chances from St. Augustine to Placa to Brunswick, off to Lake City and Waycross. But look at this. We've got a very active tropics. We've got Jose continuing to recurve off the east coast, a weakening Lee, but it's all about Maria. And I've got the latest hurricane track in our forecast track coming right up, and I'm very optimistic, Katie. We'll take a look.
How do you solve a problem like Maria? Anybody? Sound of music? Flashback? All right, let's get you guys started this morning. Let's look towards 295 and Hurlong. And you can see there the northbound side is moving. That crash that was near Normandy has since been cleared, so you've got all your lanes there open. Let's take a look towards your traffic map. So now you're back to that 8 minutes. You're not seeing that delay anymore to go from Blanding up towards I-10 along 295 northbound. Now, if you are traveling across the Fuller Warren, I saw an alert from Florida 511 that if you're traveling on the northbound side of the Fuller Warren, look out in that center lane. They said there might be an object in that center lane. Didn't say specifically what it was, but just said that drivers should be careful. So just proceed there with caution. I-10, no reports of problems. I-95 into the Jacksonville area, whether you're coming from Georgia or from St. Johns County, either looks pretty good. Back to you, Lou.
Katie, thank you so much. Let's take a look at the power outages around the area right now because it's still impacting some of you. Statewide, more than 600,000 people are still without power. Here's a look at JEA's power outages across Jacksonville this morning. Now it's just a little more than 300 customers without power. That is much less than 1% of JEA customers compared to the more than 60% that were without power during the height of Hurricane Irma.
Now, as of 4 o'clock this morning, Clay Electric says nearly 2,000 people are without power, and they say most of those customers are in the Alachua and Marion County areas. Now, we checked Florida Power and Light's website at 4 this morning as well. Just over 240,000 people across the state are still without power.
That does include locally now, because FPL is so big. In St. Johns County, 1,600. 1,100 in Putnam, 1,300 Flagler County, and 1,900 still without power in Nassau County. So frustrating for you, we know. There's still some outages to talk about in Alachua, Baker, Bradford, Clay, and Columbia, as well as Union counties. Not nearly as many right now, though.
Now, all companies are saying they're working as quickly as possible to restore power. And remember, because of the 24/7 restoration process, there's a chance a higher fee could be added to your bill beginning next year, just like we saw after Hurricane Matthew. We all remember that. We're going to, of course, keep you updated on all of this.
Okay, with schools reopening, part of the First Coast slowly getting back to normal. It's all normalcy here as schools reopen. Now comes the reality of it all, and that's cleaning up this mess with all the trees down across the region as well. I want to answer some of the top viewer questions that we've been getting since Hurricane Irma hit. Number one, how to find a reputable tree service out there, not just some fly-by-night company. The best thing to do is your research, of course, because it is pretty easy to get scammed. First, check out the company reviews, multiple sources, including, and probably first off, sources from the Better Business Bureau. Second, if the price is too good to be true, folks, it probably is. You got to cross-check your quotes online and make sure the company has the proper insurances as well, so you're not held liable if there is an accident. And finally, do not pay until you're 100% satisfied with the job. That's pay in full. Sometimes you got to put a third up front, and that's reasonable, but don't make a full payment, of course, until work is done. Now, the second most popular question we are getting is, when will the trash removal and all the storm debris removal begin?
Everyone wants to know. Well, officials have been working to get back to a normal schedule. Here's what we know at this point this morning. Standard yard debris collection in St. Johns, Clay, and Glenn counties will resume today. Meanwhile, Flagler County will get back to collecting debris this Thursday. That's September 21st. And Duval County says it'll begin making those rounds September 25th. That's a week from today. So folks in Duval will have to wait just a little bit.
And as for our final question, we've been getting a lot of about FEMA, how to get FEMA assistance. And this one actually is a pretty simple response, actually. It can all be done online with FEMA. Yeah, just go to the website disasterassistance.gov, enter your address, and follow the instructions from there. A lot of info. Yeah. But that's good. Info is good. Info is power. If you didn't write all this down, we've got all of it posted on our website right now. That is firstcoastnews.com. And I do want to mention Jenny Blaylock will be interviewing someone from FEMA later on today. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and tweet her. She'll try to get those answered for you. All right, just ahead on Good Morning Jacksonville on this Monday morning, Chris Porter, he's going to recap the Jaguars game for us. And now we want to hear from you, how your thoughts on the game. We're going to show it on television as well. I cannot wait to hear that. And it's back to school for many kids across the First Coast. Our storm expert meteorologist Mike Prangley has your back to school forecast in just 2 minutes.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Good Monday morning. With more hype than the Jags have had in years, they look to stay atop the AFC South Division with a victory over the Titans yesterday. Instead, they look like the Jaguars of old. And tell me if you heard me say this before. Blake Bortles turned the ball over 3 times. The run game was ineffective. The Jags had too many penalties, and the Titans in the end just wore down the Jaguars defense. And no, your mind isn't playing tricks on you. This isn't 2016, but 2017. The good news is it's just the second game of the season, and believe me, this team is better than last year's. Here's our beloved Jaguars trying to explain things after that 37-16 loss.
That's the game of football, ups and downs. That's been part of it since I've been here. Hopefully we could get from it going up and down, and stay on a consistent streak. But as far as, we got to come in and learn, have a quick turnaround, just learn from this game, then get ready for Baltimore. But like I said, we got to get off them up and down, up and down, up and down, stay consistent and keep on improving.
Kind of what we did last week, we wanted to bring that here. Winning at home, that's a big thing, and obviously there's a mantra about the Jags about not winning at home. So that's kind of one of the things we wanted to do is win at home, go 2-0 in the division, and start the season off right. But things don't go as planned, and yeah, we didn't give the home crowd the show they deserve.
Time now to get socially acceptable with what Jags Nation had to say about the Big Cats' loss from Tyler. The Jaguars deserve every single boo from the fans if they keep trotting out Bortles. You all deserve better. So does the rest of the team. Fox Sports tweeted this, my friends. Maybe next year. And the picture and the caption reads, the last time Jacksonville started 2-0, Pluto was still a planet. All right, you've seen the highlights, heard from the players, and we've also heard from some of you, but that's not enough. We want you to record a video rant about 15 to 20 seconds long for our segment called Monday Night Quarterback. Then email that rant to sports@firstcoastnews.com, sports@firstcoastnews.com, and I'll show the best rants tonight at 11. That's sports. Roll out of bed and have a marvelous Monday.
All right, Chris, we're rolling. Thanks for that. Your time, 6:41. And here's what you can watch tonight on ABC 25 at 8. It's a live episode of Dancing with the Stars. Then A New to Tell the Truth. That's at 10 o'clock. And then be sure to stay with us for your local headlines on First Coast News at 11.
Good morning. How you doing, Katie? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm ready for Monday.
Yes, and we're ready for a beautiful day. All right, so the tropics are actually helping us. Jose's wrapping in dry air today, and it feels good outside. We've got some 60s to start, and getting the kids to school, yeah, it's almost like the first day of school will be great because we've got good drop-off weather, picking up the kids' weather, and we're talking about temperatures actually pretty not bad this time of year. With that northeast breeze blowing in, we'll start in the 60s, a high in the upper 80s to near 90. We take a look at football forecast, PV at the west side. Wolverines try to get back on track, and they have some great weather to do it. Great on the gridiron, temperatures dropping into the mid-70s. And as we take a look at the big picture, though, it's all about the tropics. That's all everybody cares about. Well, I do have good news this morning. I'm very optimistic that the track we saw Jose take as it scooted to the northeast, well, Maria going to follow suit, it looks like. So we take a look at the latest. The bad news is, yeah, the northeast coast still could be skirted with some high wind gusts, but notice the high winds stay off shore with Jose. And then Maria, Katie, it does look like the islands that, boy, took a pounding with Irma, including U.S. Virgin Islands, unfortunately in the right front quadrant of a major hurricane. So a lot of prayers and thoughts with the Antilles and even Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, but the news is a little better for us. In fact, a lot better compared to Irma, and we'll take a look at that track coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. So let's take a live look outside towards the Dames Point Bridge. All of our bridges look pretty nice. They're, of course, picking up as traffic starts to pick up, but I'm not seeing any problems on any of our bridges. So that is great to be able to report. Let's take a look here towards I-10. You've got that congestion that we typically see starting to build this time in the morning. About 6 to 10 minutes to go from 295 towards the downtown area there along I-10, but no additional accidents to bring in more delays. If you're traveling on 95 northbound from 295 towards downtown, it's about a 13-minute ride. And your routes in from the beach, Atlantic Beach and JTB, looks like they're all moving up to speed there as well.
All right, thanks, guys. So this is currently the intersection of Merrill Road and University Boulevard near Jacksonville University. FDOT is looking at changing the intersection to a turbo roundabout.
Turbo.
Now, this is what it would actually look like. We're going to show, there it is. Now, it looks complicated, but it's expected to help traffic flow in that area, and we all need that traffic to flow as smoothly as possible. An open house on the proposal begins at 4:30 this afternoon at JU in the Gooding Auditorium. It will end at 6:30, and a formal presentation will follow. You are welcome to attend. Again, that's from 4:30 to 6:30 today at Jacksonville University. Well, kids are hitting the books once again after Hurricane Irma put a stop on the school year.
Alex Ositis has everything you need to know as you drop your kids off this morning in a live report as well. And today, the family of a slain Georgia Tech student plans to speak. Have those details coming up for you in your power block of news just 2 minutes away. It is 6:44. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville. We're on your side.
And welcome back. It's time now for your power block of nonstop news before Good Morning America and the Today Show take over right after GMJ. Well, Britain's ITV News released security video that may show a suspect in Friday's London subway bomb attack. Now, he appears to hold a grocery bag similar to the one used to hold the device that injured 20 people. The video was shot Friday morning near where police searched a home southwest of London. Police have 2 men in custody at this point, neither identified as the suspected bomber, though. And in other news on this Monday morning, the family of the Georgia Tech student who was fatally shot by campus police Saturday night will hold a news conference today.
21 years old, Scout Schultz is a fourth-year computer engineering student, as well as president of the Pride Alliance at the university. A student witness says Schultz did have a knife and was walking toward police officers who were yelling to drop it.
Now, Scout's family is seeking answers regarding why Georgia Tech campus police failed to use non-lethal force to resolve that encounter.
All right, and after, well, for many, more than a week for students, it is back to school today. You will hear the bells ringing across the First Coast. First Coast News, Alex Ositis live at Twin Lakes Elementary this morning where they are heading back. Hello, Alex. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lewis. And, you know, millions of kids across the Southeast impacted by Irma. That includes 1.7 million students in Georgia, 2.8 million students in Florida missing class over the last week. Now, 12 counties in our area headed back to class today. Now, Duval County is just one of these schools going back, and that report from the USA Today with all those kids, talking about the millions missing class. Well, Duval County says that they took it very seriously to look at their campuses to make sure everything is safe. They do know that a lot of families still dealing with the after effects of Hurricane Irma, but they say the safest place for their students to be is in school. So DCPS, as well as others, reviewing their policies this morning. And some of those counties headed back to class, you can see on your screen: Clay, St. John's, Putnam, Bradford, Union, Columbia, Duval County, and then up in Georgia, Brantley, Charlton, Camden, Glenn, and Ware counties headed back in today. So, these districts, including DCPS, reviewing, whether or not they need to make up days for that hurricane. No word on that yet, but that is something they're checking into. Also, bringing in extra help, those counselors, to make sure that these kids are very comfortable after Hurricane Irma, and if they need to talk to anybody, they'll have those resources available. That's what we're following today. We'll have another update for you coming up on the news at noon. Reporting live on the south side, Alex Ositis, First Coast News, on your side.
Alex, thank you. We will be watching 6:49 is your time. A 40-year-old woman with a history of mental illness is in police custody with connection to an acid attack. It's happened in France over the weekend. 4 American college students were attacked with acid at a train station in Marseille, France. The victims were all women, Boston College students studying abroad. All did go to the hospital. They were treated and released. 2 got acid in their eyes, though. Right now, police are not calling it terrorism, though. Well, St. Louis police say at least 80 people were arrested Sunday during protests over the acquittal of a white former police officer charged in the shooting death of a black man. Officers say a crowd of roughly 100 protesters broke windows and threw rocks and other debris at police. Mayor Lita Cruson spoke to the media, saying for a 3rd day in a row, daytime protests were calm, but the nights became destructive. The city's police chief assured residents they are in control and will protect the city. Well, check this out. Snow. Where is this snow? It is in Montana, but it's an early snow and welcome relief to help combat wildfires that are burning throughout the state. Firefighters in Montana have been fighting massive wildfires for weeks now. Those fires burned about 800 square miles so far, and fire officials there say these heavy snowflakes won't put out the fires altogether, but it should slow down the spread of the flames as well. And that's something to see here in September. We still got 4 days of summer left. All right, television's finest, minus Keith and I. They came together in California Sunday night for the 69th Annual Emmy Awards. Honors for Best Actor went to Sterling K. Brown, who saluted his This Is Us co-stars as well. Veep scored another double win, Best Comedy for the 3rd year in a row, and the show's star, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, won Best Actress for the 6th year in a row. Saturday Night Live also won 4 awards, including Best Sketch Variety Series. And then you also had a surprise appearance by former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, which was a big surprise for the crowd as he lampooned himself just a bit and had some fun out there. And it seemed like the stars in the crowd enjoyed it.
Yeah, they did, but we saw some mixed reaction on social media.
Oh, yes.
Ugh, some of them not so nice. All right, thanks for that, Lou. Your time now is 6:52 on this lovely Monday morning. Check this out if you have the time. This is a beautiful shot out at Jacksonville Beach. The sun is up and shining. Let's check in now with your storm expert, meteorologist Mike Trainer.
Wow, we've come a long way in a week. Yeah, a week ago, of course, we had Irma bearing down and floodwaters here on the First Coast, but a much different kind of Monday. In fact, summer, it's been stormy, but we're going to finish summer on a beautiful note. It looks like this sunny pattern moving in today with that beautiful sunrise at 7:13. Here to stay, looking good for back to school weather. A high temperature, mid to upper 80s, so nothing too hot out there, and a nice northeast breeze. We're still watching the inland river flooding, but they continue to recede. Those rivers recede with this drier pattern. Surf and rip currents also an issue at the beach, but notice the heat and the rain, not bad at all, but it's all about the tropics. Notice Jose continues to skirt off the northeast coast. It should remain out to sea there and then do a big loop, and then waiting on Maria and its wings. Unfortunately, this could be a major hurricane and impact the U.S. Virgin Islands once again, but notice a big difference in the pattern compared to Irma. This curve and the recurve occurs well to the east. I remember we had to wait to the Florida Straits for Irma. Not this time around. The upper pattern has changed and it's in our favor, meaning likely to stay well to the east of us. In fact, the National Hurricane Center seeing that turn much quicker, and that's some good news for the U.S. East Coast. Here's what I'm thinking. It splits the high pressures. It goes with the upper level. So you got Jose, what's left of Jose by next weekend, and then Maria going right with that steering flow right between the high pressure systems, which would keep it at least 500 miles east of Jacksonville, Florida. In fact, the European, it's always good to have King Euro on your side. Notice, see the tightly packed isobars recurving. In fact, it looks like more of a threat to Bermuda at this point than the United States. But keep checking back. It is the tropics. 7-day forecast. We said a beautiful finish, not just for our Monday, but for summer. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, low rain chances. Fall comes in just fine, Katie. Just a isolated shower, and next weekend looking beautiful. Some good news for all the area rivers and creeks. How's it looking in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center?
I'll tell you what, this traffic camera towards the Buckman Bridge is just beautiful. I mean, look at that gorgeous sunrise that we have out there. So I know it's Monday, but hey, look out your window, sip on your coffee a little bit. At least it's a beautiful start to the morning. You do have some traffic, though, starting to build as we typically see for this time of the morning heading towards the Buckman Bridge. Let's take a look here towards your traffic maps, help you guys out. So if you're driving in on I-10, you're seeing that congestion there as well. We did get word of another accident, 295 northbound near Wilson, but it's the right shoulder there that is blocked. No lanes of travel blocked. Traveling across the Fuller Warren Bridge on the northbound side, be careful. Florida 511 mentioned there might be some type of object in the center lane, so just use caution if you're driving through there. Now, if you're going across that Buckman Bridge, you can see some of that congestion. It's about 13 to 15 minutes already to go from Blanding towards I-95, but if you have to sit in traffic, at least you have a beautiful sunrise to look at. Back to you.
Katie, thank you. Always looking on the bright side. Appreciate it. 6:55 is your time. Time for those top stories to help you get out the door this morning. So a house fire that killed a 6-year-old as well as his great aunt in Camden County has been ruled an accident. 52-year-old Myra Butler and a 6-year-old Anthony Green died in a fire on Ben Butler Road Thursday morning. Investigators believe it was an unattended candle in the living room that may have started the whole thing. If you need help signing up for FEMA assistance, 2 recovery assistance centers are going to be available in the area over the next couple of days offering help. Senator Marco Rubio announced one in Jacksonville. The other will be in St. Augustine.
Now, there will also be an insurance station where agents can help you with filing a claim and answer some questions if you have any. Officials will set up today at the St. Johns County Administration Building. That's in St. Augustine. It's from 8 this morning until 6 in the evening.
You want to go in Jacksonville, you go to the Prime Osborne Convention Center tomorrow, Tuesday, also from 8 to 6. College football, ladies and gentlemen, here's your latest AP poll. Does it really matter anymore now that we've got the Final Four? Of course it does. It's nice to see your team listed there. Defending national champion Clemson Tigers up to number 2 from 3. All right. Penn State at number 4. USC is number 5. Georgia Bulldogs coming in number 11. FSU drops to 12th. Miami up 3 spots to 14. Wait, they didn't play. And after their thrilling win over Tennessee, somehow the Gators jumped 4 spots to 20th. Interesting. Alabama still reigning in at number 1.
All right, let's take a look at your Week 5 Game of the Week nominees. Get to the sports section of FirstCoastNews.com and vote as many times as you would like. The First Coast News sports team will be live at one of these games, the 5 matchups this week. So get out there and vote, vote, vote.
Vote.
And tonight we have football.
Yeah.
So might get makeup games, and that includes Westside, Ponte Vedra, Palatka with some football. And we've got great football weather. Great day today for Monday back to school. A high of 89 degrees and low rain chances throughout the week, and keeping Maria east. Well east.
Beautiful look here towards the Buckman Bridge.
man.
Of course, it's picking up, but what a gorgeous sunrise.
It is
lovely.
pretty.
Motivation.
Wow.
Thank you for that this morning. I was throwing
Even more beautiful. There's your
Leave
Monday
it.
motivation right there. We
Take
hope
it
you
all
have
day.
a wonderful day, folks.